Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpane, just back with another quick video response. And this time I'm video responding to the Game Chasers, and they do Top 5 Friday. I don't know if it's every Friday. I think Jade Hunter does the Top 5 Friday, and then I think Billy takes it over for a while and puts it on the Game Chaser channel. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they've done one in a while, but I was watching a few of them and I thought this was an interesting topic. So it's a top 5 game series that need a return. So I think a lot of people kind of like talking about games that need sequels, or games that sort of like they don't like the companies that develop them, or the publishers, they don't release the games anymore, and a lot of people are very fond of these games and they would like to see a return of some of these games. So some of the ones I have here then are the Zombies game. So this is a Super Nintendo version, but there's also a Mega Drive version as well. There is a sequel to Zombies called Ghoul Patrol, which was okay, but I don't really remember putting a lot of time into Ghoul Patrol. I did put a lot of time into Zombies. I tried to get to the very last stage in it, which was very fun, and also with 2 people it's even better. But yeah, Zombies, I'd like another Zombies game in the same kind of style as that. I think they should keep the kind of pixel graphics, just make it like really a lot more detailed, not like make it like a Flash game, or not make it like a 3D, like just ruin it like so. Yeah, so Zombies would be a good one. And then another one, I think they should make more in this sort of style of Monkey Island. I know they have Monkey Island games coming out. There was like a remaster a while ago. There was one on the Xbox 360 and PS3, which was like a remake of the old Monkey Island games, like the really old ones, and you could switch between the old graphics and the new graphics. That was pretty good, but that's like a remake. And then there's a new one that came out a while ago, and I think that was a remake as well, but the graphics look so unappealing that I didn't bother getting it, and I really like Monkey Island. They were done in like a kind of deformed cartoon style that I didn't like, but I really like the style of this game. This is it's like a PS2. I know I think this was a PC game first, and they ported it to the PS2. I think so anyway. But this was the only Monkey Island game that I played. I never played the computer ones, the DOS ones. I think they're DOS ones anyway. I never played those, but this one I loved it, and I think if they made another kind of game in this sort of style, so keep the graphic style is kind of semi-realistic with realistic proportions. I know this one isn't, they're not really realistic in this, but I think that's just the way the graphic style is. They try to make them look realistic, but they're just not realistic. But yeah, another in the Monkey Island series, but like not a Grim Fandango style, or whatever the style is they used. I don't like that at all. And then another one I would like to see is another series that needs a return, obviously, is Castlevania. So I just picked out a random Castlevania game here. I have a lot of the Castlevania games. This one's the PS2 one. So I quite like, obviously the best Castlevania games for me are the ones on the Game Boy Advance and the DS ones. Those 6 like masterpieces. Those are awesome, and obviously Symphony of the Night. There's a few more that are pretty good, like the Super Nintendo 2 are pretty good as well. But I think the ones on the PS2, the kind of 3D ones, I think Lament of Innocence, they didn't really get it right with that one. That was like an old-fashioned Castlevania game. But then Curse of Darkness then was more like a Metroidvania, but a 3D Metroidvania. So I think they were on the right sort of track, just didn't kind of perfect the formula. And then they completely abandoned the 3D one and went back to the 2D, which was probably a good idea because the 2D was a lot better. But I think they could do another 3D Castlevania, not the one that came out on the 360 and the PS3. What was that called? The remake one where you're like Gabriel Belmont. That was actually okay. If they didn't call it Castlevania, it would have been fine. But they remade it, and Gabriel Belmont ended up being Dracula, and it was just like a reimagining. Like Alucard's son was like Richter or something. Anyway, I only played the first one until the end of it, and then I didn't finish it, and then I never played Lord of Shadows, and then played the second one at all, or the one on the 3DS, because I just didn't like the way the story was going. I think it was like a reimagining. I didn't like it. I like original timeline Castlevania a lot better. So another Castlevania 3D one, but a Metroidvania 3D one, I think would be very good to re-release it. And then this game series, it's always threatening to return. The Suikoden series, again, I just picked up a random one here, just for optics. Yeah, the Suikoden series has loads of games. It has like 6 mainline games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's got like a strategy game, and it's got like 2 graphic novel games. And it's got one on PSP as well, which is like what is it? It's like a different world or something. It's just like I don't even know if it's like Woven Web of a Century. It's more like a random PSP RPG that they stuck Suikoden a name on and then put some extra characters in. But yeah, so that'd be 7 mainline games then. in the Suikoden series. So they haven't made one since the PSP one, to my knowledge. I remember last year there was a remake of 1 and 2, like a remaster of Suikoden 1 and 2 supposed to come out, and then like everyone was talking about it like last year at this time, and then it didn't come out. So, or maybe it did come out, I just didn't hear about it, but I'll buy that straight away when it comes out. But yeah, just another Suikoden game. So I would prefer like a sequel to the original Suikoden games, not like Suikoden 4 goes back in time and then Suikoden 5 is forward in time. So if they just sort of like started the first one, then make a sequel to that with the same characters, or roughly the same characters. I know Suikoden 2 is kind of like a sequel to it, but it's not really. So just another one of those, please. And another one I'd like to see is Shadow Hearts. So I picked the worst Shadow Hearts game here. I just picked up a random one, Shadow Hearts from the New World. So the Shadow Hearts series has 4 games. Kudelka is like on the PS1, and it's supposed to be like a prequel to Shadow Hearts on PS2, but it's like very few of the, like there's a bit of reference to Kudelka, but it's not really like a direct sequel. Maybe it was just like the first game that developers made, and then they sort of like put some references to it in the, you know, the preceding games. But yeah, Shadow Hearts 1, 2 and 3. Shadow Hearts 1 and 2 is awesome. Shadow Hearts 3 is, it's okay, it's not great, like, but it's all right. It's kind of like I think maybe because of how Shadow Hearts 3 turned out, they dispensed with the series, but I don't know. Anyway, that's 5 game series that I'd like to see return. If you've got 5 game series you'd like to see return, let me know in the comment section below, or do a video response yourself. I'd love to watch it. So thanks very much for watching, and I appreciate you watching again. I'll see you next video. Adios.